Welcome to another episode, everyone. Hoover Gumby versus Big Devil from 5'9" Hoover. Hoovers killing Hoovers. What happened at that time in Calipatria where these two individuals got into an altercation and one walked away from the altercation and the other did not?
What's the deal, y'all? What's the deal, y'all? What's the deal, y'all? We're Trapping Tapping in 10 and Trap News Network back in the same, like good cracking the same here at 10 and Trap News Network. It's not getting use, it's not getting Allegito. You're not finna get nobody's Allegito. Big dog, tap in with the tap in to make sure you're in fact tapped in with that good tap in. Hit us with a like, comment, subscribe for everything we got going on here at 10 and Trap News Network. It's that news you use. It's not getting Allegito. You're not finna get nobody's Allegito. We finna get into this content, man. Notification bell here. All stay tapped in for the latest and the greatest. Finna slide over here, man, and talk about the story of Gumby and how he caught a body against one of his homies. Finna get into this content. Let's get into it. Let's go.
I've heard many stories here on the internet about what transpired on that fateful day. And all of the stories that I've seen have gotten the story wrong. Gumby himself has recently spoken about the story. I've said before that I wanted to speak with Gumby before I did the video on it. I've been unable to speak with him. And I figured since it's all over the internet anyway, and he himself has spoken on the situation more than once, that I can speak on it as well, particularly since I was in prison when this very incident transpired. I know exactly what happened. In fact, I've shared the story here on my channel before. I just did not mention any names. But again, since Gumby has mentioned his own self, has mentioned his own name, and has spoken about it himself on Cam Capone News, then I figured it's okay for me to say what I have to say about the situation, at least to clarify and correct a couple of fallacies as it relates to the story. Now, there in Calipatria State Prison,
Damian Porter tells the most interesting stories, and it's really more so like his voice is kind of like a better version of how Milk speaks.
Lil Gumby was there, and so was the OG homie, Big Devil from 5'9" Hoover. Gumby said himself that Big Devil was a godlike figure to him. Big Devil was a big, strong, swole individual who was making money and was calling shots. He also had cracked a CO broad up there and married her. She married him, basically quit her job, was fired from her job. Obviously, you can't marry an inmate, so she quit her job and married Big Devil and began to come and see him, began to come and visit him.
This nigga's living the prison dream.
And I'll just leave that there. So he was a strong figure that was deified and respected really by everyone. Now, I've heard many rumors that Big Devil was a bandit, that he liked to clap men's cheeks. I'm not going to get involved in that because he's passed away, and I don't even have firsthand knowledge about that anyway. I've heard rumors, as many people have. However, the situation that transpired with him and Gumby had absolutely nothing to do with any sexual tryst. Nearly every story I've seen on YouTube, and even Whack 100 called in the No Jumper accusing Gumby of performing fellatio.
It's crazy that Gumby sat in front of Whack and did absolutely nothing about that.
That's why they got into this altercation. And these different channels have said that Big Devil was touching on Gumby or wanted to touch on him, was, abusing him in some way. And that's why he did what he did, to save himself, to save his life. But again, this is not true. If an individual is a bandit, the bandits that I've seen, they don't go after young gang members from their own hood, from their own car on the yard. They want someone who at least resembles a female, who acts like a female, or what have you. He was not touching on Gumby.
That's crazy work, man. And they saying that this is the reason why Gumby unalived that dude, because it was a flu flannel foot.
Gumby in any way. Gumby is not going for anything like that. And neither are the homies on the yard going to accept something like that from anyone. Gumby at this time was a young and up-and-coming homie. He too had respect, however. But Devil, of course, was on a different level. Again, he was canonized. He was put on a pedestal, and he instilled fear in many people. Because of his size and the reputation that preceded him, people dared to cross Big Devil, to mumble a bad word behind his back, or to face him and say anything out of the ordinary. And so, one day, there on the yard in Calipatria, out comes the Hoovers. Everyone else is there on the yard as well. On the yard is also, certainly now, but even then, was a young OG homie. Then I would say he was a young OG homie. Had a lot of respect from everyone. And he had life in prison to come home. He is now home. And him and Devil were very close. They recognized one another's ranks, that they both had heavy rank in the hood, and they both were highly respected. And just out of that, they respected one another and had love for one another and began to bond on the yard and became rather close. The young OG, well, he was known for putting in that work. Big Devil was the shot caller, and you would say that he was right under Big Devil, nearly on the same level, even at a younger age as Big Devil. But you can say that Big Devil was the number one guy, and the young OG homie was second in command there on that particular yard at that particular time. And so they come out to the yard on one occasion, and the story goes like this. Either someone shot a dart by the police and it bounced off the police. The dart did. How do they make darts in prison? They make all sorts of weapons in prison.
Imagine you're on the prison yard and somebody shoots a blow dart at you like a fucking African safari. Like somebody just runs up on you flocka. Somebody just, what the hell? Somebody just runs up on you flocko style with a dart. That's wild.
Or someone threw a knife. I don't recall exactly which one it was out of these two. Or someone threw a knife over by the police, and the police found that. Either way, the police found a weapon. They got a weapon, be it a dart or a knife. The police, they're upset because someone that threw a knife had the audacity to throw a knife right by them or shoot a dart that bounced off of one of them. So they've taken this situation personal. And someone has to fall. They don't know who threw the knife or who shot the dart, the police. They just know it came from a certain area as far as they're concerned. So basically, they said, any, meeny, miny, mo, the police. Somebody got to go. Somebody's going to the hole for this situation, for throwing this dart, this knife right here in our vicinity. We can't just let this slide. And so the police, they picked the young OG homie. Here, you, come on, you going, cuff it up, you going to the hole. And they took him to the hole. It's not his dart, it's not his knife, it's no one that's right there weapon. It's neither one of those people's weapon that is right there. However, the police decided to pick in this crowd where the Hoovers were at and picked out a young OG Hoover and sent them over to the hole.
Now, it seems like it was a situation where if somebody don't cop to this, we're going to put it on somebody. So y'all gonna have to police yourselves in this situation, which could cause a huge conflict. Because let that, for example, have been somebody from a different race who had caused the infraction. Now that's causing issues and divisions amongst the races. It's just a lot of different ways that can go for a negative. No real positive can come from that. It's just the police playing a weak game.
Oh, so Devil is upset about this, Big Devil, because the young OG Hoover that they took to the hole is, again, his comrade, his road dog. They're real close. They're real tight. He's the second in command. He's really helping Devil run the yard. And so Devil wants him back on the yard. Devil says, why did y'all take him to the hole? He didn't do anything. No. Bring the young homie back to the yard. The police are not bringing him back to the yard. So, as Gumby said when he was telling the story on Camp Capone, it was over Big Devil wanting him to take a beef, to take a case. Well, that's what he's talking about. Because Big Devil essentially approaches Gumby. Gumby being a younger homie, still making his bones through prison, building his reputation on that yard. What you did on the street doesn't matter on that yard. He's still building his reputation, and apparently Devil feels.
Imagine catching a body and then ending up in prison amongst other people who have bodies, and they say, if you don't catch another body, meaning catch a body in here, that body down the street doesn't count. Practice body, try again.
Like he needs to take a couple of hits. He needs to make his bones. He needs to struggle. He needs to learn what this prison life is about. So Big Devil approaches Gumby and tells him to go and get the young OG homie out of the hole, to take the beef, to take the knife, the dart, to say that it was yours. Therefore, turn yourself into the hole and thus remove the homie from the hole and bring my boy, my comrade, back to the damn yard. Take your ass to the hole. But bring the loved one back. Bring my boy back. Bring the bro back. You go on to the hole, bro, and take that beef off your young OG homie.
Damn. If that doesn't make you feel like you're not wanted and extremely disposable, what else will?
And I'm the big OG homie, and I'm telling you to do this, so you go take the beef. But Gumby says, well, hold on. Now, the young OG homie that Big Devil wants to bring out of the hole, again, he had life in prison. So he doesn't need a weapon charge on him. He's trying to come home. And it's really not his weapon. But it's also not Gumby's weapon. And Gumby also has life in prison, and he doesn't want to take this weapon charge either. So Gumby is saying, well, I don't want the young OG homie in the hole. I feel bad that he went to the hole. I wish that he was here. I wish that had not happened. But because it wasn't his, but it's not mine either.
That don't got nothing to do with me, nigga. I ain't finna put myself in a predicament because this nigga got the bone put on him.
I'm not gonna go turn myself into the police and tell them that the weapon was mine and it was not. I feel bad that he's in there. But why would you want me to go take the heat for something that's not his or mine? Tell the person who it really was to go turn themselves in. If that's the case, I'm not going to turn myself in to bring your comrade back to the yard. Meanwhile, what am I, chopped liver? I'm the scapegoat. You go and take your young guy to the hole and make your bones, learn how to do burpees, learn how to talk in Swahili, and then come on back to the yard. Meanwhile, we gonna get the young OG homie who's been doing time and is trying to go home, has been in there for some time, back on the damn yard. So Gumby says, no, sir, that's a no-go. I'm not going to do it. Long story short. And as Gumby alluded to when he told the story, the homies had conversed about this. And apparently a decision had been made to discipline Gumby. It was a DP. It wasn't even a removal. It was a DP. So, clearly, Big Devil had made that call.
See how shady these politics are? Because you don't want to take credit for something that you didn't do, trying to go home. They'd rather somebody else go home before you, seemingly, So now they're ready to put their hands on you. And God forbid you do what Gumby end up doing, taking somebody's life as a result of, and now you're going to whole flu, flammy, small, duggery, larceny, trouble. This just goes to show you, kids, gang banging, illogical. Even when the politics should be fair, they never are. Because you are listening to this man tell a story about how Gumby literally was just existing, and his existence put him in a flu flammer situation.
Because he's the one that wanted Gumby to go and take the beef. And Gumby stood up to him, if you will, and said, nah, I'm not going to do that, bro. And Gumby said himself he was terrified because Big Devil, again, is a revered figure on the yard and in the hood. And not many people are just going to stand up to him face to face and deny what he's asking them to do. But Gumby, he did so. And when Gumby came out to the yard, the homies were over there congregating, going over
plotting on him.
This. And whatever was said, I wasn't there. I was in High Desert State Prison at the time on a level 4, 180 yard. And word travels fast. The situation, we all ended up finding out, of course, what happened with this situation. All of the Hoovers know what happened. It was a big thing. Let me not get ahead of myself. And Gumby comes out to the yard, and the homies are over there talking, congregating, and call him over there. And Big Devil was hollering at him, like, man, whoa, whoa, why you ain't take the beef, whatever. Got a DP coming. Gumby himself said that another homie was in the back of him and started arguing with him or tried to swing on him or something to distract him. And when he turned around to face the other homie that he was arguing with, he says Devil came and sliced him, punctured him a little bit. Devil hit him with a little something. Wasn't a big old gushing wound. It wasn't anything life-threatening. He essentially scratched him. But apparently Devil will...
But that's enough right there. My bad, I'm dropping stuff, but shit, what you mean I just scratched you? Nigga, you ain't finna just nick me. You ain't finna just do nothing to me, you know, physical altercation or nothing like that. Like, what the hell? What are you even thinking about, bro? Why do you think that this is... Oh, shit, I'm dropping stuff. My bad, y'all. Why do you think that that's the appropriate response? You feel me? Like, oh, we in jail. All right, cool. You want me to take a beat that I didn't do? No, I'm not gonna do it. All right, cool. So you don't even want to fight me? Now you want to, oh, I just nicked you. Nigga, you put a knife on me, bro. Any way, shape, form, or fashion, it's a no-no. Any way, shape, form, or fashion, that's out. You feel me? Now you, in my mind, you gotta go. You gotta go. You gotta get up out of here. You feel me? Because, I mean, I'm gonna just say this. I've been stabbed in jail, and I'm still here. So, I'm gonna just leave it out like that. But this, no. No. This has to be handled immediately.
Well, sending a message. You want to send a message to Gumby that you don't defy my orders. When I tell you to do something, you do it. I'm the shot caller. I told you to go take the beef. You go take the damn beef, whether it was yours or not. And he wants to send a message to the rest of the Hoovers, to the rest of the car, to the rest of the yard. I'm not to be played with. What I say goes. So he swung. He hit him with it. Gumby bagged up. Went over there by a gate, by a building. Like, oh, man. And Gumby himself said that he was sitting there thinking, oh, man, I can't believe this. Like, he's feeling bad, of course. Because clearly, this was not just Devil. Someone else had swung on him or tried to distract him. Everyone was in on it. And he's saying this is the car, the gang that I've shed blood for. Now they want my blood shed. These are the people that are stabbing me. The same people who I'm willing to die for. Clearly, he took it personal. He made his way back inside of the building, did Gumby. He patched himself up. This happens often in prison. You get stabbed up, and if it's not a removal, then you can make it back to your cell and patch yourself up. And then you have to respond. What else are you going to do in that sort of situation? Gumby came back out of the cell that same day And when he came out of the cell,
here's the thing though. Damian Porter said he took it personally. Well, yeah, it personally happened to him, Damian Porter. Like, well, how can you take that if not anyway but personal? You feel me? That's a personal attack at you. That's a personal shot at you. That's a personal message to you. Personal seems like the only way you can take that. It seems like it was a very personal message being sent to you because personally somebody has a problem with your persons. So yeah, I'm gonna say to take this one personally would be very appropriate.
he wasn't even thinking about Big Devil. He wasn't even going to go at Big Devil. Even though Big Devil was the one that had nicked him, scratched him, stabbed him, punctured him. Because again, of the reverence that he had for Big Devil. As much as he deified and respected him and feared him, he himself said he wasn't even the target. I wasn't even going to go at him. He was probably going to go at the dude that had started the argument to distract him, one of the other homies, whatever. He was saying, okay, Big Devil's hands off, even though he did what he did. I'm going to make my bones and regain.
I mean, nah, I don't agree with that. I believe that the person who put that woo-wop on you is the person that you need to go get your 1-2 step like Sierra with, big dog. I'm not with the picking and choosing. You feel me? The only way that you could destroy a snake is to cut his head off. So if you feel like you've been wrong in that type of manner, you need to cut the head off the snake. All this trying to play with the body of the snake ain't gonna do it for you, bro. Because the dude who took off on you seemingly was just following the same orders that you would have followed against someone else. It just happened to be against you.
Made my reputation by hitting whoever else. He went to the cell, patched himself up, and grabbed his weapon. And he came out looking to redeem himself. But as he's coming out to the yard, he sees Big Devil, and Big Devil smirks at him, gives him a little smile. Like, yeah, I did that, punk. Shut up. Don't say nothing, boy. And Gumby himself said that when Big Devil smiled at him in that manner, as if he just marked him out, and you know that I just marked you out, and you better accept that, he felt like he had no choice in that moment but to go at him, to go at Big Devil. Again, at first, he was not even his target. But when he smiled at him and smirked at him, showing disdain and no regard for what he had just done, shedding his...
But see, I think that's God was telling him, hey, you need to go ahead and get the appropriate man, because how could you not feel like the person who pulled the blade on you was the appropriate target? How could you even feel that that's geared towards anyone but him? So I think God was like, nah, bro, you need to stand on your business.
Blood. He felt like he had to go at him. He had to go at Big Devil. And so I've heard rumors, I've heard people say that Big Devil was handcuffed. He was not handcuffed. Why would he be handcuffed? Only time you're handcuffed on the yard is if you're being escorted to the hole, escorted from the hole, or if you're on lockdown and you're being taken to the program office or anywhere and you're on lockdown, they're going to cuff you up before you leave your cell. But everybody's going to be cuffed up. Gumby would be cuffed up in that situation as well. Big Devil did not have handcuffs on him. He was not cuffed up. He was on the yard programming. It was yard recall at this time when the incident happened. When Gumby ran up on him. But this whole time, he was on the yard chilling. He had already just did what he did to Gumby. Gumby made it back to the building, patched himself up. The whole time, Devil was on the yard, still. He's not cuffed up. He's out there playing basketball, working out, stabbing people. He's out there programming. He's not cuffed up. He wasn't cuffed up. Another source of misinformation about this story. He was not cuffed up. He had no reason to be cuffed up on a level 4 yard. He was being searched by the police. When you come in from the yard on a level 4 yard, oftentimes, most of the time, yard recall on the microphone. Building 3, line it up. They call it one building at a time. They don't want everybody rushing in the whole yard, because then there's a big old crowd. People get stabbed up and can get away. The stabber can get away. So they're trying to have a controlled movement. So they say buildings 1 and 2, or sometimes just one building. Building 1, line it up. And everybody else is still in the yard, and building 1 is lining it up. And as you go in, you have police making a hole. You have police lined up, 3 or 4 on this side and 3 or 4 on this side. And you come in the middle, and one of the police choose you and say, come here. And they're going to search you before you go inside of the building. It's structured, it's controlled, it's strict, it's a level 4 yard. They search you on the way out. They have metal detectors these days. You got to walk through the metal detector. Some prisons strip you out before you come out. And on the way back into the yard, they're searching you. It doesn't curb the violence. People find ways to get their weapons out and back in, of course.
It doesn't seem like it's too much control if somebody got poked up on the way in.
And so the police are there, your recall. And Big Devil is heading to the building to go inside of the building like everyone else. And he's right there with the police searching him, patting him down. Again, that's what they do before they, all right, go on in. They pat you down. Make sure you're not bringing in anything from the yard. And so while they're right there patting Big Devil down, then that's when Lil Gumby runs up on him and he hits him. Yes, right in front of the police. But again, he was not cuffed up. He was just right there getting searched. And he hit him. Basically one time. In the neck. And Devil, Big Devil, rest in peace, bled out right there on the yard. He died. He passed away. Now, this is what really happened. This is the true story. I know this because, again, I was in prison.
This sounds more realistic because it's not really like too many twists and turns. There's no explosion. There's no glitter. You feel me? Like, nah, man. He just ran up on him and one good shot and the man bled out, and that's all it took. Because sometimes one good shot, the man can bleed out, and that's all it takes.
At this time, when this situation transpired, we all got word about what happened. People were upset. Many people were on Devil's side. Many people were on Gumby's side. I'm not going to get into that. I'm not going to get into the politics. I'm not going to get into the aftermath or the fallout. But it was a situation. So I know what happened. We all know what happened when it was over. All investigations were done and completed. The people that were on the yard let everyone know exactly what transpired because it was a big situation over this, bro. So again, I just want to clarify what happened with that situation with Gumby and Big Devil. Rest in peace to Big Devil. It was nothing sexual. He came back, Gumby wanted him to take a case, take a beef that didn't belong to him, that wasn't his. When Gumby refused...
Let me know in the comments what y'all do. Would y'all have taken that beef? Would y'all have, been down for the cause and down for the game and be like, yep, I got this? Or would you have done what Gumby did and been like, hell no, I'm not taking that. Why the hell would I take a beef for you? But I'm interested to know, what would y'all do?
Big Devil asserted his strength, his dominance, and hit him. Gumby said that he was afraid of being a buster. He was more afraid of being considered a buster than he was of Big Devil. Though he was afraid of Big Devil, he was even more afraid of being considered a coward by his peers. Because if you let someone stab you in prison and you don't respond, he can't go back and fight him. He didn't swing on me. He swung a knife. He stabbed me, but I'm going to go back and fight him. You can't do that. Like if somebody shoot me, I go back and fight him. Yeah, let's squabble, bro. You shot me. No, you got to, if somebody stabs you in prison, I understand it's supposed to be a DP and all that. But when the knives come out, the DP is over as far as I'm concerned. You're no longer DPing me. You can unalive me, whether you're trying to or not. Once you stab me, you can take my life. That's not a DP. That's my opinion. That's not a DP. No one can sit back and allow someone to stab them and you do not stab them back. Yes, you are going to be considered a coward, a buster. I don't care who it is that stabbed you. He didn't care that much about you. He stabbed you. So you can't care that much about him and say, I ain't finna stab the OG homie. Hell, he stabbed you. He's not saying I'm not gonna stab the young homie. So that cannot be your energy if that wasn't his energy. Now, Big Gumby, yeah, he'd be the first to tell you he was not trying.
You gotta fight fire with fire. And that's real, especially in a super hostile environment like that. Like, you definitely have to fight fire with fire. Damian Porter just said a word. Somebody just poked you. What you gonna try to fight him for what? Nigga, he don't want to fight you. He's making it abundantly clear where he stands with you and how he feels about you and where his whole point is with you and all that kind of stuff. So, I'm just saying, bro, you gotta figure out how to go ahead and get your lick back in an appropriate manner, because a fight where somebody has just tried to potentially take your life doesn't seem like 1 and 1 is going to equal 2, big dog. And it doesn't sound like those things are going to really add up to anything that's going to be to your actual overall benefit. It's probably going to continue to make you a victim.
To unalive the homie. The homie had scratched him. He was basically just trying to save face and scratch him back. But that's the whole point. That once you stab someone, you're no longer responsible for the aftermath of what happens to him, what happens with his body. It's not your call. And that's why when Big Devil first stabbed him, scratched him, that's Big Gumby. That was Gumby's point. He could have killed me. Even though he wasn't trying to, he could have killed me just like I killed him and wasn't trying to. He could have killed me. That's why I had to respond. It just so happens that he didn't kill me, but he could have. And so I had to go back and scratch him just to save face. It just so happened that he bled out.
Now you got Damian Porter, not even ironically, but crazily telling the story of one of his homies unaliving another one of his homies, and this is traumatic, so blessings to Damian Porter. So
Gumby went to the hole, was in the hole for 6 years or so, fighting the case. Long story short, he ended up beating the case. I know what happened with that, but I'm not going to get into that. He can tell a story, but he ended up beating the case. And he beat the case that he was in there on. That first got him life in prison. He ended up beating that case. He won a lawsuit for $6 to $8 million and came home. He got the money after he got home. When he came home, he had already filed the lawsuit, whatever, won the lawsuit, and had $6 to $8 million over the situation.
Can you imagine being up $6 to $8 million and now you're on No Jumper doing stupid interviews with Whack? You was up $6 to $8 million. Particles.
That's what happened. Again, I'm not here to protect anyone. Because I haven't even been talking to Gumby. I haven't even talked to Gumby. He don't even know I'm doing this story. It's not like he told me to do the story and clear up this stuff about people saying that it was something sexual. I haven't even talked to him. I'm telling you, I know what. Now, this is something I'm not hearing. I didn't read this in the book. I didn't see this somewhere else on YouTube.
Damian Porter said, I ain't telling you what I heard, I'm telling you what I know.
I didn't watch it in the movie. I was in the penal system when this incident transpired amongst my car, my community, my faction. I know what happened. I know what happened that day. I know what happened now. We all do. That was in there at that time for sure. And even the homies that's on the street, we know what happened. Hoover.
All right, man. So we finna get about it to the next one over. But y'all know the deal. It's red out to the left. Of course, y'all know the rest. And y'all know it's free. Avenue Way, this way it's free. We go.
Sexy bands on my name. How many shots to the center of a freak, nigga? 3 in his ass, lick his stomach, smell his pink, nigga. They throwing shots, time to see if them pussy niggas can take it. The nigga whack is a snitch and the jolly niggas are raiders. See, Lush was on to something, tried to act like it was nothing. Said you ain't know that freaky ass taker you was frontin'. Munchie ain't fucking with you and Spider-Loc ain't gon' save you. If you want it, you gon' take it. Stop them freaky ass behaviors. Let's get straight to the point, see we ain't gotta wait for later. Nigga with your last name kidnapped that girl before he raped her. Said the moms of gang members don't deserve no piece of prayers. When General Butt naked, the kid kid, Tesher is your savior. You ain't gotta stall me out, cause I ain't asking for no favors. Get it cracking right now, we ain't gotta wait for later. Walked into your own building, heard my voice, and then you ducked away. Was humble like a bitch, cause you a hoe, stay in your fucking place. That nigga whack and slut and pathetic, Flacco's a fucking lame. Whack ain't come outside because he hiding from his fucking gang. Talking like you tough when niggas spitting in your fucking face. T-Row didn't quit, we wouldn't even know your fucking name. Whack in front of Adam, but Adam, this how he do you. See, Flacco lied on me and then Whack told me to sue you. Treated Whack like a bitch, you should've seen it, it was beautiful. Now every single week, that nigga jolly on my pupil. Is it Fred or is it Frederick? Is it Dave or is it David? All thighs on me. Flocka belly, now you famous. Type of creep nigga is you. How are you and Dave related? Nigga, no means no. You should've told him not to take it. I'm really in the field, you niggas stuck inside the matrix. From BET to the Knicks, down in Compton where your face is. That nigga real jolly got some freaky ass cases. Tryna fake fight Lush cause Adam wanted you to face. You wanna be like academics, making videos like point and shoot. You and Dave the same ass lane, we know the fucking truth. Brick ain't say this shit is a play, cause he don't fuck with you. He not gon' get involved when them real shooters come for you. If you grew up in the land, them thirsties, they would've humbled you. Grew up with them lions, I promise they would've hunted you. I get disrespectful, the next time I'ma punish you. You dirty fat bitch, I swear to God I see the bum in you. Niggas say they shooters till it's time to bring them guns out. Lose can't read and Whack lost his wife to Clubhouse. Treat Whack like a bitch, mark him out before he snitch again. Flocka, when I see you, I'ma show you the type of bitch you is. Niggas say they see me, they pullin' blick out. I promise that this Glock can make you sit down. Drum with a cooler, one for you, one for your brother. Wrap the string around the mop, sound like your dumb ass when you stutter. Swear to God, nigga.
Wait, again, wait though. Just right though, right? Wait though, right? I do want to